Okay, sophomore year of high school, I'm in my element. I'm loving it, right? Freshman year is over. I killed it freshman year. Sophomore year's coming, and I finished that, and I'm 16 years old, and my family at the time owned a lawn care and landscaping company. So I started working when I was 12 years old, mowing lawns with my dad and doing landscaping. That's just what we did in the summer. So one morning, after an early morning football workout, I go help my dad to go load up the equipment for the day to go mow some lawns. That morning in particular, as my dad was pulling the trailer out of the storage unit on the way out, I stepped back so I could get out of the way, and when I did, I slipped on sandbags. And I ended up falling on the wheels of the trailer as it pulled me out of the storage unit. My head was above the wheels, and my chest was pinned to the wheels, and my back on the wall as it pulled me out. And after it did, I dropped. Instantly. Ah! My dad gets out of the truck. What happened? What happened? Right? And I said, don't touch me, don't touch me, don't touch me. He calls the ambulance, and the ambulance comes. Now, have you ever ridden in an ambulance? They are not comfortable. So here I am later finding out that I have a broken back, and I'm riding in this bumpy ambulance all the way there, right? Wasn't pleasant. So I get to the hospital, and they run every test you can imagine. CAT scan, CT, MRI, X-ray, you name it, they ran it, okay? The verdict is that I was paralyzed from the waist down. I remember laying on a cold metal table, seeing doctors and nurses above me, and then all I remember is it's black. And I wake up the next morning, and I'm sitting in bed, and I see people around me, and I go, all right, what happened? Right? And I notice at that moment that I can't feel my legs. And I'm like, maybe they just fell asleep. I've been laying for too long. So I try to wiggle my toes. I try to move them. Nothing. It's dead. The doctors tell me that when I had my injury, the brick pressed up against my spine, and it ended up shattering my entire spine from my armpits down to my hips, with the L5, where my hips are, bursting into my spinal column, paralyzing me. Now, first few days, sure, I had people visit. Oh man, we're so sorry to hear what happened. Hope you get okay. How are things going? Now the reality, any of you ever been through a tragedy in your life that rocked you to the core? The next few days after, if you get support, that's when you get support. The loneliest time in a person's life after a trial is not immediately after. It's when life turns back to normal for everybody else, but not for you. That's when it's lonely. So here I'm in the hospital bed, right? And I spent the next 6 months in the hospital. I had to go through physical therapy, learn how to walk again, doctors, surgeries, you name it. I missed my entire junior year of high school because of that. So I get home from the hospital, right? And I start to go through it. And then I went through a year of PTSD treatment and did therapy for that, right? Now, obviously you can see that's not how the story ends, right? But we'll get there right quick. So, I just introduced to you that I had the world at my fingertips prior to, right? During that year that I missed of my junior year, any idea how many people came to visit me? Okay. 3. 3 people. You think, right? But 3 out of 9 proms. Where were those girls? Why'd they leave me then, right? 3 people. And those 3 people are my best friends to this day still, because in the moment, it wasn't my label. It wasn't what I could give them. It wasn't how popular I was. They saw me as a person, right? An individual. Now, paralysis is one thing, but then what came after was the hardest part.